morning, friends. Today we will move on to some of the very important questions in the chapter 10th, light, reflection and refraction. We want to move on to some of the very important questions. So first question, what is reflection of light? So what is reflection of light? The bouncing back of light from any plane surface. The bouncing back of light from any plane surface is called as reflection, and that reflection occurs in the same medium from where the incident ray is there. So this type of process, the bouncing back of light from any plane surface, is called as reflection. What is reflector? So what is reflector? Reflector is the surface from which light gets reflected. So reflector is the surface from which light gets reflected. The best example for that is your dish antenna. So what happens? Your electromagnetic radiations, your TV signals and all will come to the dish antenna. Like this, it will come, the electromagnetic radiation will come, strike the parabolic dish antenna, and it will gets reflected and move on to LNBC. It will reflect all the radiation to the LNB. So that is a reflector of that radiation. It works as a reflector for that electromagnetic radiation. So what is a reflector? Reflector is the surface from where the light or electromagnetic radiations get reflected. Question number 3. State the law of reflection. The first law. Here angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. That is, angle I is equal to angle R. Next, the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal drawn. So at the point of incident, all lie on the same plane. So question number 4. What is the value of angle of incidence to the angle of reflection in considered to the normal in a plane mirror? So the answer is the angle of incidence in a plane mirror. If you take a plane mirror, the angle of incidence, because the ray is coming in a straight line, there is no angle of incidence. So the angle of incidence is a straight line. The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection because the reflected ray moves in the same plane. So the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, that is equal to 0. So angle I is equal to angle R, that is equal to 0. So in a plane mirror, what happens? The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection in consideration to with the normal. So that is equal to 0. Question number 5. What is real image? What is real image? Real image is formed when the actually two light rays actually meet on the screen. Whenever the two light rays actually meet on the screen, if this is the screen and the two light beam comes and it meets at a point on the screen, then we tell that actually the image is formed on the screen. For example, if you take a convex lens and there is an incident ray from an object, so two beam we will take, one ray will come from the upper end and it will come and strike the screen. In the same way, another ray from the optic center will come and meet the screen. So two line, when it actually meets on the screen, then we will tell that image is formed. So that is a real image is formed. Question number 6. What is virtual image? So what is virtual image? Virtual image is nothing but when a ray of light, when two ray of light appears to be meet, but they don't actually meet. They appears to meet, but they don't actually meet, and whatever the image is formed, then we will call that image as a virtual image. For example, in a mirror which we will use to see our face. So what happens? There actually the light rays are not, it appears to be meeting, but it doesn't meet. So that type of image is called as virtual image. Question number 7. Define the image formed in the plane mirror. So they are asking what type of image is formed in the plane mirror. So the answer is the image formed in the plane mirror is virtual. So whenever we are seeing the face, the image which is formed in the plane mirror of our face and all is virtual. It is erect and it is at the same size of the object. So whatever happened in the plane mirror, it is the image which is formed is virtual, it is erect, and it is same as the size of the object. Question number 8. Define the center of curvature of a mirror. So they are asking, define the center of curvature of a mirror. So what is the center of curvature of a mirror? The center of a curvature of a mirror is told that it is a spherical, if you take a spherical ball of a glass through which that mirror is made. For example, if it is a big spherical ball of a glass, and we have made a concave mirror or a convex mirror through it, then the point from the curve of that mirror, from the if you draw a line here, is called as that point is called as the center of curvature. That center point of that spherical ball is called as center of curvature. The center of hollow sphere through which that spherical mirror is formed is called as center of curvature. Define radius of curvature. As previously we understood what is center of curvature, same thing, what is radius of curvature they are telling. Now same thing, if you take a spherical hollow circular ball made up of glass and through which that mirror is formed, the radius drawn from the curve of that mirror to the center of curvature, the line drawn or the imaginary line drawn from the center of curvature to the curve of that mirror which is formed is called as radius of curvature. Question number 10. Defined aperture of spherical mirror. Define the aperture of spherical mirror. So the answer is, it is a part of that spherical mirror which is exposed to the incident radiation. If it is a spherical mirror and it is exposed to the incident ray, the part of that spherical mirror over which the incident ray is falling, that part is called as the aperture of the spherical mirror. Define pole of the spherical mirror. The answer is, the pole of the spherical, if this is a spherical mirror, it is the midpoint of that spherical mirror is called as the pole of the spherical mirror. So midpoint of that spherical mirror is called the pole of the spherical mirror. Question number 12. Define principal axis of a spherical mirror. So answer is, the line joining the center of curvature to the at of a pole of the mirror, and the line is extended to the either side of the mirror, that line is called as principal axis. Define principal focus in a concave mirror. So what is principal focus in a concave mirror? The principal focus in a concave mirror is that whenever the light gets, the incident light coming and falling over the mirror gets reflected back, the light start passing through the midpoint of the line drawn on the principal axis and the line joining the principal axis and the pole of the mirror. After the light which is incident gets reflected back, the line passing through that point on the principal axis is called as principal focus. Define focal length of a spherical mirror. So they are asking, what is the focal length of a spherical mirror? So if this is a spherical mirror, the focal length is defined as, if you draw a principal axis, then in the principal axis there is center of curvature, there is principal focus and the pole of the mirror. The distance between the pole of the mirror and the principal focus, the distance between the pole of the mirror and principal focus is called as focal length. Okay friends, these were the some of the important questions which was very, very important of 1 mark questions for the chapter called 10th, light, reflection and refraction for the chapter 10th of 10th standard. Next we will move on to some of the very, very important questions in next video of 3 marks, 4 marks and 5 marks and all. So that coming videos I'll update, and you can subscribe the channel and get in the notification whatever the videos which is with of very important questions for 3 marks, 4 marks and 5 marks will be uploaded in upcoming videos. Subscribe the channel and give thumbs up for the video if you like the video, and I'll be back with some more important questions next time.